Kevin Michael Costner was born on January 18, 1955, in Linwood, California, into a family where emotional distance was the norm. His father, William, worked as an electrician and utility executive, often absent in the emotional sense, while his mother, Sharon, a welfare worker, provided stability but lacked the warmth that Kevin craved. Raised in an environment of constant relocation, from Compton to Garden Grove to Visalia, young Kevin learned early on that connection was temporary and roots were luxuries. This nomadic existence left him feeling often overlooked and isolated, but it also shaped him into a resilient and introspective individual. He found solace in sports and developed an intense imagination, retreating into a world where he could escape the harsh realities of his upbringing. Despite the challenges, Kevin's determination to break free from his circumstances began to form. The struggle of pursuing a dream. Kevin's path to Hollywood stardom was far from easy. After high school, he attended California State University, Fullerton, where he majored in business and marketing, partly to fulfill his father's expectations. However, the reality of a career in business felt like a death sentence for his creative spirit. His true passion for acting was ignited during his senior year when, on a fishing trip, he met legendary actor Richard Burton. When Burton asked Kevin what he wanted to do with his life, Kevin finally admitted he wanted to act. Burton, seeing something in him, encouraged him to pursue it, despite the hardships. That conversation became a turning point for Kevin, setting him on a path toward Hollywood, though it would take years of struggle, rejection, and sacrifice to get there. Early years in Hollywood, rejection and perseverance. Kevin's early years in Hollywood were marked by rejection and disappointment. He and his wife, Cindy Silver, lived on a shoestring budget as Kevin pursued acting. He took any role he could get, from soap operas to industrial videos, with little to show for his efforts. The struggle was exhausting, but Kevin's resilience never faltered. He worked construction, drove trucks, and did whatever it took to support his family while continuing to chase his dream. His early roles in movies like Francis and The Gunrunner were forgettable, offering little recognition. However, the setback that truly tested him was his experience on The Big Chill. Kevin filmed scenes for the movie, but all of his work was ultimately cut. This painful moment of invisibility seemed to erase his efforts, but it didn't extinguish his determination. He would soon get another chance. The turning point, Silverado and the Untouchables. 2 years after The Big Chill, Kevin Costner's fortunes changed when he was cast in Silverado, 1985, a Western ensemble film. This role was his breakthrough, showing his ability to stand out alongside established actors like Kevin Kline and Scott Glenn. It was the start of his rise as a leading man in Hollywood. In 1987, his performance as Elliot Ness in The Untouchables catapulted him to stardom. The film was a success, grossing $76 million and cementing Kevin's status as a top-tier actor. He stood alongside legends like Sean Connery and Robert De Niro, proving he belonged among the industry's giants. From there, he went on to deliver iconic roles, including Bull Durham, 1988, and Field of Dreams, 1989, where he portrayed relatable, heartfelt characters that resonated deeply with audiences. The triumph of Dances with Wolves and Creative Control. By 1990, Kevin Costner had reached the pinnacle of Hollywood success. His film Dances with Wolves, which he directed, produced and starred in, became a massive success, grossing over $350 million worldwide. It was a moment of creative victory, and Kevin was celebrated as both an actor and a director. The film won 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director, making Kevin one of the most powerful figures in Hollywood. At the age of 36, he stood on the Oscar stage, a triumphant symbol of American cinema. However, while Dances with Wolves solidified Kevin's legacy, it also set in motion a series of events that would eventually lead to his unraveling. The newfound creative control he had earned began to feed his ego, and success, untempered by failure, started to change his perspective on Hollywood. The rise and fall of Kevin Costner's career. Throughout the 1990s, Kevin Costner's career became a mix of commercial hits and critical misfires. Films like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, 1991, and The Bodyguard, 1992, grossed hundreds of millions of dollars, but they were also plagued by negative reviews and growing criticism. His success was undeniable, but cracks were beginning to show. JFK, 1991, was another notable film, praised for its bold portrayal of conspiracy theories, yet it stirred controversy. However, in 1994, Wyatt Earp was a significant flop, and the ensuing years saw Kevin's career take a turn for the worse. His 1995 film Waterworld became synonymous with Hollywood excess. It was the most expensive film ever made at the time, and though it eventually earned a profit, the production was riddled with problems, and the film was heavily criticized. Kevin's reputation as a risk-taking visionary began to fade, and the public's perception of him shifted. Personal struggles and divorce. In 1994, after 16 years of marriage, Kevin Costner and Cindy Silver divorced. The split was highly publicized, and though they maintained civil statements, the reality of their divorce was far more complicated. Kevin had been involved in extramarital affairs, including one with Bridget Rooney, who gave birth to his son Liam in 1996. The divorce left Cindy with $80 million in the settlement, but no amount of money could heal the emotional wounds of betrayal. His children, Annie, Lily, and Joe, lost the stability of an intact family, and Kevin became increasingly absent, consumed by work and personal relationships. In the years that followed, Kevin would come to see the end of his first marriage as his greatest failure, a wound that never truly healed. Redemption in personal and professional life. Kevin's second marriage in 2004 to Christine Balgartner, a model and handbag designer, seemed like a chance at redemption. The couple had 3 children together, and Kevin appeared to have found happiness again. But in May 2023, after 18 years of marriage, Christine filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. This new divorce, coupled with a prenuptial agreement battle, added another layer of public humiliation to Kevin's life. At 68, he was beginning again, alone and facing the consequences of his past decisions. Despite the personal turmoil, Kevin's professional life has not been without success. He found new recognition through the television series Yellowstone, where he plays John Dutton, a Montana rancher fighting to preserve his legacy. The show became a surprise hit, reminding audiences of the qualities that made Kevin a beloved actor in the first place. Yet even with this success, his ongoing disputes with the show's creator, Taylor Sheridan, led to his departure, leaving another bridge burned. Legacy and reflections at 70. As Kevin Costner reaches 70 years old, he is no longer the invincible Hollywood hero, but a man who has learned hard lessons from his life. His career, once a meteoric rise, is now marked by both incredible triumphs and painful failures. With a net worth of $250 million, Kevin's financial success is secure, built on years of hard work and investments in real estate. However, as he reflects on his life, he is often candid about his regrets. He has learned that material wealth and professional achievement cannot replace the importance of family, presence, and emotional connection. Kevin now recognizes that success is not just about accolades, but about the choices you make every day, the relationships you nurture, and the moments you are truly present. The man who once played heroes now understands that true heroism lies in daily actions, consistency, and being there for the people who matter most. Kevin's continuing journey, redemption through action. In his later years, Kevin Costner has turned to charity work and environmental causes, including initiatives supporting Native American rights and conservation efforts. It seems that through these actions, Kevin is seeking a form of redemption that he missed in his personal life. As a man who once believed that career success and creative control could fill the voids in his heart, Kevin now understands that these are only fleeting achievements. He has become a passionate advocate for causes that speak to his values, hoping to make a positive impact on the world as a way of atoning for past mistakes. Despite the battles he's fought, Kevin remains steadfast, not defeated, but profoundly changed. He has learned that while fame can be intoxicating, it is the love and support of those around you that ultimately define your legacy.